What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian.
And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Today, after the pre-game meeting, Coach Craig Berube was asked who would start in goal. His answer was, it'll be a game-time decision. That has everybody wondering, who is going to start in goal? Oh, I wonder who.
Who's going to start in goal? What a win! What a win! That is what we've been waiting for. That is the closeout that we have been wanting to see from this team. 3 stars in the game. Mine, Husso, Thomas, and Bushnevich. Krug is number 3 for them. I'm guessing 2 will be Husso.
7 Washington shots. Playing in goal for the Blues, number 35, Ville Husso.
Husso!
And the game's first star with 2 goals and 1 assist. Playing in a forward for the Blues, number 89, Pavel Bush.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay.
Well, Pavel Bushnevich gets ready with the headset. He threw the T-shirt over here. A terrific game and another great crowd on a Friday night here in St. Louis. Boy, the players couldn't do it without the fans. And Pavel, how exciting is it to get a win like this after the loss in Pittsburgh, and especially against a really good team like Washington?
Thank you for your support, guys. We have a good game after a tough bounce in Pittsburgh. You really get us going and enjoy a W.
They are saying boosh right there. That's got to make you feel good, huh?
I didn't hear it, to be honest.
Yeah, listen, this kind of game, Pavel, against a team like Washington, we know Ovechkin's, he's just been a machine so far, but their overall team game was good. What adjustments did you make after that first period? You seem to correct some things.
We know Ovi is a great player, a great shooter. So we, coaches give us a just to stay him closer, don't give time and space to him. And I think we do a great job. And
listen in the bush.
Team effort.
One more question for you, Pavel. Your goaltender, Ville Husso, was the second star. Boy, was he great in that first period.
He should be a first star, to be honest. Great saves. I don't know. He our best player today, I think. Thank you, guys.
It's outstanding. Thank you, Pavel. Appreciate that.
Whoosh. My 3 stars were slightly different, but they were close.
Yeah, you probably switched out Krug for Barbashev.
No, Krug for Thomas.
Oh, well, that would be a good one, too.
Hold on a second. Trying to do something and it's not working very well. Here we go. It's going to work. I know it's going to work.
Well, while you're doing that, that is a good point, Robert. There really isn't a book on our backups, so that could be something.
That's a good point. I actually think that's a really, really solid point. Hey, Earl, how you doing? Lance, do you want to join us? Let me know. If you do, Slapshot will get you in as I'm trying to take care of something here real quick. Here we go. I got it. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Are you ready? Ready. There you go. Whoosh. Whoosh. Lance, I get what you're saying about there being video on him, but like, it's not the video you study all the time. When you come into this game, more than likely you're studying Bennington. So I see that.
I'm sending the link to Lance.
Okay, you're taking care of it.
Yeah.
I see that, but I also see that, you know, a little bit better defense. Like they kept playing if the fans sleep, doing what we win a lot. Oh yeah, you know what? Absolutely. Not trying to start anything, but do we have a possible goalie controversy? No, we do not. Right? If he was letting in Jake Allen style goals where there was this circle of mistrust, I would agree with that. But I just think that when he's in net, the confidence in him is so high that the defense gets a little less aggressive. I mean, it gets aggressive. And when you have an aggressive defense, it causes problems. And that's what I think's happening there more than anything else. Yes, Ashley has a new Twitter now. If you want to follow her on Twitter, it is Slapshot Jones. Actually, Ashley, you know, you probably could have just changed your other one to Slap. You could have changed it.
Yeah, I couldn't see. I was trying and it just said create a new one. So I was like, okay, whatever.
Okay. No, we're good right now, Chris. Thank you. I appreciate it, but thank you. Hell of a game from, I can't see. Is that Tammy or Tommy?
That's Tammy.
That's
Pemberton
Tammy, okay.
is Tammy.
Okay. Don't want to make sure. I do have to say Benner does seem to have some bad puck luck a lot of times. And that's a good point. He does seem to have it. And for me, it has a lot more to do. And you know what? I've seen this with the Blues for a lot of years. I seen it back in the days of Cujo, right? And some of the backups we've had then, and some of the other goalies that we've had, they do play differently. And this team has done it for decades in front of goalies. You do play a different style. And right now, the style they're playing in front of Bennington is the same style they played in front of Allen. And unfortunately, it didn't work.
Oh, that didn't work.
Excuse me.
Hold on.
Say again, the link didn't work?
No, I guess I'm not doing it right.
I'll send it to him.
Okay, I'm sorry, man.
No, it's no issues. We do what we can, right? There we go. Okay, Lance, I just sent you one, bud. On on Messenger. So you should have it, my friend. There we go. Where are we at? I do just want to say that before I get slammed, I'm not saying Bennett is our number one. No, and you're not getting slammed. I kind of agree with you, though. Right? I do agree with you. 89 is starting to make it. I think we've got a lot of those. I think that we've got a team that is this is a team that is much better than the sum of its parts. Right? And it's continuing to be like that. Yeah, Tommy. See, I can tell that. Embrick. Okay.
Okay.
Tommy, I agree. I like him, and he's taking lessons from Tarasenko. Right? What's Tarasenko? The first thing he says when he gets up, "You fans are awesome. You fans are great. We hear you. You know, we love you." And that's what Bush does. He does the same thing. Please join us as we welcome my buddy in voice only, Mr. Lance, the Drop Hockey Podcast, the Scott. Hey, Lance.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Oh, we are good. How are you, my friend?
I'm not doing too bad. They played pretty good tonight, except for about 10 to 12 minutes in that first period when the Capitals had some good chances and just kept missing the net. The Blues were very fortunate to get out of that first period, but hey, in the second period, they really poured it on and made it 4-1, and they just kind of hunkered down after that.
The Blues have not been. I mean, last season they were a strong first period team, and then blew it in the second. Well, this season they seem to be a mediocre first period team, and a much better, stronger team in the second. In fact, right now they are plus 22. Right? They scored 3 goals, so plus 22. 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, make sure I get my things right. Lance, you apparently are the guy that gets my blood boiling with relative ease.
Thank you.
Tommy says that he thinks Petro's number. So a question that when you first came in, Jose said, with Pronger's number 44 getting retired, who should be the next number to retire? And he thinks that it should be Dimitra. I think Dimitra should be honored, but actually, if you want to know what number I think needs to be retired, and I'm going to get, personal, that you're saying this because of your relationship, but it's Unger, right? Unger, I know 7 has been worn by some great guys, and it's been honored once, but what Unger continues to do for this franchise and what he's done for hockey, it's time. I mean, the guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He's the original Iron Man. How can the original Iron Man not be in the Hall of Fame? You don't play 912 straight games without being damn good.
I agree.
Yeah, he definitely was a strong presence in the 70s, and I think the problem that they're having is there's so many good Blues players that were number 7, Kachuk, and then we had Joey Mullen, who was a big part of the Blues for several years.
Yeah.
And I think they'll probably honor it again, but I don't know how they would choose, who to retire the number for. But I agree with you. I wouldn't have a problem with them retiring it for Gary Unger at all. Like you said, he wasn't just here as a player, but he's been here, ever since, he came here as a player, and he's still there. He does some, he's still around the teams and stuff. He talks to all the guys there, and he's still a part of the Blues. It's just one of those guys, kind of like Plager, and maybe not as much as Plager as the Plager brothers went to the Blues, but it's pretty close.
But he's the face, and I have a personal relationship with him, okay, and we are friends, and I am very happy to call him a friend. And the day when I was at the alumni camp, this man drove a good 400 or 500 miles, gets into St. Louis during our dinner. And what does he do? He walks right up to me and says, "Hey, I heard you're the Hawaii Blues fan. Is that true?" I mean, it just, for me, that was special.
Did he call you Guy or Gee?
He calls me Gee. He will not call me Guy. He calls me Gee, right? And that was from that first interview we did. But he's that person, and he was with me every day. He came up to me, how you doing? Are you okay? How's your arm? He signed I didn't ask anybody to sign my cast. He asked me, he wanted me to sign his cast, if he wanted my cast signed, right? I kept that cast. I threw all the others away. I kept that one, right? It's stinky. It's nasty. It's never getting clean, but it's worth it. And this guy deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I've put a couple quizzes out, and I get told no, but he does. He deserves to be in the Hall.
He definitely does. He played around 1,000 games. He's got the numbers to do it. And like you said, the original Iron Man. Plus, he's just a great person. I mean, who else? He's going to represent the NHL and hockey as a whole very well in the Hall of Fame. And, just from seeing him on your show, he looks like a super nice guy. And he's another hockey player. And, people are going to say I'm an idiot, but I'm going to tell you something. I have yet to meet a hockey player personally. Now, I'm sure there are some that are not as nice. I have never met a hockey player that after I'm done talking to them, meeting them in person, or talking to them on the phone in an interview, where I got off the phone and said, that guy is a jerk. I have never, ever said that. They are the nicest people, and he's just a great example of it for the city of St. Louis.
He is, and he has been for a very, very long time. And I got it. It's not just that. The guy's got the numbers. The guy's got the talent. He's got and he's an ambassador, and he's been an ambassador. I get you. You take the 7 and you split it. You retire it for Kachuk, and you retire it for Unger. Those are the two. I know there were when they honored it at one time, and they had 4 guys on it, and I don't remember who the 4 guys were. Now, I don't have a problem honoring Dimitra. I do have a little, and you want to know, and unfortunately, the reason he's not in the Hall of Fame has nothing to do with hockey. The reason his number's not in the rafters has nothing to do with hockey. And it has everything to do with why Gessoff's numbers in there. And you know what? It's 50 years on now, right? Or 40 something years on. It was an accident. Unfortunately, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's time to put the guy where he belongs.
Yeah,
Right?
I may see that happening when you and I are a little older, and some more time has passed. I know it's been a while since he passed away, and everything. And I think that if they do it, it's going to be a while. Not that they don't want to do it. I think they're looking for the right time to do it. And he definitely should be, have his number up there. Because he meant a lot to the Blues, and it was sad to see him have to leave with the way he left and everything. And great player, and from what everybody says that played with him, a great teammate, and it was tragic his life ended so early. And like you said, Bob Gassoff, very similar situation. And
well, no, it was Gessoff. It was Gessoff was at his farm when he passed away, and he's detailed exactly what happened, and so has Bruce Affleck with me. I've had some very
I'm just
detailed.
saying that they both passed away by accident.
Yeah. Well, who was the other one you were talking about? Dimitra. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, Dimitra. No,
Yeah.
Dimitra is not. Dimitra's number's not hanging up there because of his relationship with Blues front office, right? And that has a lot to do with it, right? And I get that, and I do. But you know what? For a while, neither was. I mean, I remember, and I was talking to my wife about this. We went to a game the year that Enterprise opened in '95.
Mm-hmm.
The new Kiel Center, not the old. It's in the place of the old Kiel Center. We had this discussion before. Ashley, everyone told me that the Kiel. So there was a Kiel Center before this Kiel Center.
Yep.
And this Kiel Center is in the same spot,
mm-hmm.
right? So I knew because I knew I'd been at the Kiel before I ever went in game there. But I went to a game the year after it opened, right?
Mm-hmm.
In '96, and I had like second row, third row tickets. Nash, Steve Nash was, or not Steve Nash, Rick Nash. No, who? Nash was still playing, and I can't remember which.
Tyson Nash.
Huh? Tyson Nash. That's it. Sorry, Tyson Nash was playing because I had met him at a Best Buy the night before, and I told him where I was sitting. And he says, "Hey, make sure you come up to me." He was supposed to toss me a puck, but he forgot. We've had a conversation about it afterwards. So I had talked. I was at that game. I just lost my place. What I was trying to talk about. Oh, so I was sitting in. Where it is now, where the St. Louis Authentic is. That used to be like a special lounge, the Blue Note Lounge, right? And that's where you would go if you had in the first 4 rows. You could go in the lounge and get free food and all of that. So I had tickets. I was sitting there eating my toasted raviolis, and wearing my jersey. And I was talking to a guy sitting next to me, and he asked me, "Do you think we'll ever see number 16 in the rafters?" Now this is after all the stuff had happened, right? He'd moved on, and the problems and all of that. So actually, it might have been a little bit later. This might have been 99, maybe a little bit later after he left. Okay. But I said, absolutely, he will be. That's going to go away. He's earned it. And I knew it. And to me, Unger's the same way. Unger has earned it. Right? Unger has earned it. Unger's number deserves to be in the rafters. And if you want to honor him with a couple other guys, that's fine. But that number under Unger, I think you just slash it. Unger and Kachuk. Right? It needs to be more than honored. Right? So that's.
I'm not really sure how I feel about retiring numbers in general. Like, I understand that it's an honor for the players, but if you retire every great player your franchise ever has, you're going to run out of numbers.
Well, Boston has Boston's done that. Boston's retired so many numbers that they still use retired numbers.
We don't
Right.
want to end up like Boston, trust me.
No, and I'm talking about the Celtics, not the Bruins, the
Yeah,
Celtics, right?
I know. Yeah.
And I get that, and that's okay. But I think for me, you can retire a number without retiring a number, but or you can even call it an honored number, right? But when it comes down to, you got to look, who are the guys that need. Remember the article I wrote, and I'm not trying to, God, I know this sounds, I feel so bad when I do this, but the article I wrote, my top 10 blues,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? What does the blue note mean? Gary Unger is what the blue note means.
No, I agree with that. But whenever we start talking about like a Dimitra or how number 90 will eventually be retired, and
Well,
I just think that we're getting too far ahead of ourselves then.
Yeah, we
yeah,
are. And-
because there's people that before Steen even retired because of his injuries,
yeah.
we need to retire number 20. And then when Brandon Saad got it, it's not right. Brandon Saad, guys, I'm sorry. Alexander Steen was a good player for about 70% of the time he was here. And in my mind, his number doesn't get retired. Good player, great two-way player, but his number doesn't get retired. I would definitely, if somebody said you got to put one of them in, Unger or Steen, it's going to be Unger every day.
Oh, every day, right? Every day. What are you saying, Marianne? I'm missing because you said he asked Steen. Did you say something ahead?
Someone else asked about what about Steen?
Yeah, and I just, no. Will Steen be retired? No.
No.
I don't think so.
Nope.
He might be honored someday, but he won't be retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, I think one of the things, if a guy is in the Hall of Fame, his number should be retired if he played with you long enough. Like Sam put up there Brodeur's number. Brodeur played 1 game, 2 games. Not a big deal, right? Not a big deal. Okay, and we're never going to retire that number, even though he's in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
This is my argument. My argument for Unger is the problem is he's not in the Hall of Fame, but he should be. Right? He absolutely should be. He should be in the Hall. No ands, ifs, or buts. Boy, did this conversation go completely different from where I wanted it to go. So we're going to get back to the game because I want to talk about something I saw tonight. Oh, I know you were, Sam. I absolutely know you were, bud.
I hope you're wanting to talk about what I want to talk about.
What? Go. I'll let you go first.
Mikkola and Wilson. Did you see?
They got into it a little bit. I
was really proud of Mikkola for that.
Yeah, I was. Mikkola just backed away. Okay, dude, you're fine. I'm fine. I don't need you. The league doesn't need you. Bye bye. Yeah, that was Mikkola. We have 3, maybe 4 guys right now that I could see being superstars. We're finally. I think we have the opportunity, unless we F it up. We have the opportunity to finally have the team that we've always wanted in St. Louis.
Yes.
Right? Kyrie, Thomas, Tarasenko is still in the prime of his career. He's got a couple of more good, solid years, and he's already a superstar, and he can go to another platform. Mikkola, Allman, who am I forgetting? Kyrou. We have these guys that are they're there. Now, Bush, not yet.
He's getting there. He's 3rd in points, and he's got some impressive skills. Maybe not this season, but next season, I think he could wow us.
Yeah, I think he could too. But where he's wowing us is the defense.
His forecheck is phenomenal.
Well, not only is his forecheck, Lance, I want to ask you about this. Okay, as a goalie, you're on the penalty kill, and they're doing the 6-on-4 penalty kill. And you get a guy that gets the puck and fires it towards the net with that authority. What does that say to you as a goaltender?
You mean like we're on the power play or we're on the penalty kill?
We're on the penalty kill. And you get one of your guys who takes the puck. It's a 6-on-4 penalty kill, an empty net. And he takes that puck and he doesn't clear it. He shoots it with authority down the ice into the center of the net.
that just shows that he's not indecisive. Number one, he knows what he wants to do with the puck and is not just standing there trying to figure out if he wants to shoot it or not. And you got to make that quick decision, and that's what you appreciate as a goaltender, is guys not pussyfooting around and just being lackadaisical with the puck in their own end. Get that out as quick as you can, whether it goes in the net or not. If they're putting pressure on you, it's a big relief to have players like that can make those decisions really quick, and they can see the ice to where somebody doesn't block it and get another shot on you.
Yeah, this was an issue in the this was an issue in the Winter Classic, right? Not trying to get in there, not trying to do it. Bob says, doesn't matter how many stars we have, we only go as far as goaltending takes us. That's the Blues' all-time story. Unfortunately, he's dead on. Dead on. Sam says, last two big trades stunk it up first season, having a down year, Falk and Krug. I don't think Krug actually stunk it up. I think the entire team stunk it up, and he was caught up in the stink of that.
But he really wasn't that bad. Like, I mean, yeah,
that's what I mean.
he only had 2 goals, but I mean, he had 30 assists. He was like 3rd or 4th on, points.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I that's kind of what I'm saying. I think that he was caught. You know how you may not be what's causing the stink, but the stink gets on you. That's what I think happens here, right? I think the stink got put on him. Falk was a aberration of Berube not understanding what he had in the player he had.
When like I've said, for when Falk came over and everybody wanted him gone in the first 2-3 months, I said, Berube's system, when you're in another offensive first type system, which is what Falk played in Carolina.
Yeah.
So, he's used to that, and it took him a year to get used to it, and look how great he's been. And Krug, it's going to take these guys a year to get used to it. When you're in one system for 6, 7, 8 years, 9 years, and then all of a sudden you come into a new system, some players can pick it up quickly because maybe they played a similar system in juniors or in college or whatever, but it takes time. Guys, I've said it before, coming into the league as a goalie is hard, but coming into the league as a young defenseman or even a defenseman from one team to another, it's hard sometimes.
Oh, no, yeah, I'm with you. I want to say a big thank you to Marianne Holmes, Tim Kyber, Earl Smith, Matt Park, and Brad Pond for giving us some love, throwing us figures. And we got 17 people still watching us 30 minutes in. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you.
He wants you to read the last part of his comment.
If Bush improves next year, oh boy, look out. Bush right now to me is an integral part of this. What I saw tonight was an interchangeable 3 to 4 lines. Interchangeable, right? One guy out, another guy in. One guy out, another guy in. One guy out, another guy in. It doesn't matter. They're all working together. We don't have a 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a 1A, a 1B, a 1C, and a 2. And it's working that way. You're seeing this, and you're seeing lines 1, 2, and 3 playing almost equal minutes.
And even our 4th line's pulling in a decent amount of minutes for our 4th line.
Yeah, let's see here. I want to say that they were over the 10-minute mark, most of them. Yeah, Costin had 10. Bozak had 11. Who was the 4th on that? The 3rd on that?
Sundqvist, I thought.
Sonny had 15. Sonny was up and down. Sonny played on the 3rd line a lot. Just a lot. The minutes along. Here we go. Shen, 16:07. Thomas, 18:02. Saad was the 4th guy, right?
No, Saad was with Perron.
Okay. 14:50. Bozak, 11:30. Brown, that's it. 10:43. Kyrou, 16:18. Costin, 10:03. Barbashev, 15:40. Perron, 12:47. Sundqvist, 15:50. Bushnevich, 18:41. And here's the one that I am so glad. O'Reilly, 17:18. Right? I will take that. I will take him not playing 22 minutes a game. He doesn't need to play 22 minutes a game. 17 minutes, 18 minutes is what he needs to play, and we're showing that we have a very well-rounded team. Rob says, Guy, Lance, Ashley got to go. I'll leave you with this. Berube leads this team to a second cup. I hope so. I absolutely hope so. Right? And I give Berube credit. Right? Mm-hmm. It may have been, and now I will say this, and this is a backhanded compliment, and I admit that. It may have been forced on him, but I'm so glad it was because he's become that guy. Mm-hmm. He's become that guy. He's become that, okay, wow. Man, look at what I'm seeing. I've never seen this before. In past, I've tried to trust young guys and they've screwed me. Here, I got different young guys. They're proving it. They're proving it, Tommy. You're doing this on purpose.
He so is.
Yeah, he is. I know he is, and I appreciate it. Marianne says Costin looked good tonight. He did.
He did.
He did look really good tonight, and he just missed 2 goals.
Yeah,
right?
That breakaway could have really, been good, except he lost his footing, but then he got it back.
He still got a hell of a shot off.
Yeah.
Right, Tommy, long live the Chief. You do that just to piss me off. Thank you. But no, I am happy with Berube. I am happy with what he's doing because now you're seeing these young guys getting these better roles, and they're proving their worth. Mm-hmm. Right, Lance? Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. In the past, he's, like you said, not trusted young players, or very few of them, unless their name was Sanford, and we trusted him way too much. And in the past, a guy like Kyrou would make a mistake, and we saw it in his first year, make a mistake, and you didn't see him for 4 or 5 games. You didn't see him for 2 games, whatever. And, you got to let these guys grow. They're going to make mistakes. You're not going to get a guy coming up from the AHL or juniors that's going to be perfect. And I know everybody's saying Jake Neighbors is perfect, but he played very good. Not. But if you watched him, there is still some holes in his game that he needs to improve on. And that's just the way it is with young players. And this year, I was told that Armstrong sat Berube down and said, listen, you need to make changes. You need to allow guys to do this and do this and do that and fit them in your system. And instead of fighting it, he's actually done it. You can see it. You can see the result on the ice. You can see it when he's coaching during the game.
Yeah, well, here's another good point. And this is the one that I've been complaining about this. I complained about this from game 1, or actually game 2. Game 2 last season. He says Berube tweaked the system too. They are skating with more teams now, and it used to all be dump and chase. Absolutely right. Dead on that. And now, again, the backhand and a compliment. It was forced on him. He got guys that he had to put all these guys in, and these guys weren't dump and chase guys. Kyrou is not a dump and chase. Kyrou is not going to come to line and fire it in. Kyrou is going to take it in with speed. Thomas is going to take it in with speed. Up and down the line, these guys are going to do that. So while he may have wanted to be a pump and dump, that's not what you were going to get. Right? Mm-hmm. And Sam, I thought about this too. And Sam asked, well, I know he's joking, why can't we score against the backup goalie when they take out the starter? Because a lot of times that energizes the other team. Because the other team really feels crappy that they've let the team down. Remember what happened with Bennington and was it Husso last season? Bennington against the Sharks.
Yeah.
Right. The Shark game where Bennington's getting blown out and he gets pulled, and then Husso comes in and they end up winning that game. It energizes. It changes the team, and that's a lot of times you don't pull the goalie because the goalie's bad. You pull the goalie to affect the team. Am I right?
And actually, I want to point something out, though. Pittsburgh started their backup goalie, and they pulled him to put in their starter. When we played Washington tonight, they have the 1A and 1B. Yeah. So it's not really that we couldn't score on the backup goalie. It was just a switch of momentum by doing it.
Yeah, and a lot of
tonight?
Yes, they did.
A lot of times,
guys, I didn't even realize that.
A lot of times, guys, and some people just overlook this, is when they pull a goalie, let's say in the third period, you're probably up 3-0, 4-1, 5-1, whatever. So at that point, your team is going to still attack, but they're also going to go into a defensive posture, which is going to not allow them to attack the goalie as much so that they can protect the lead.
Yeah, it does. We scored the empty net, but that wasn't against the goalie. No, I think you look at what the Blues did in the third. They didn't let off the gas, but they controlled the puck more.
Yeah.
Right, and then towards after they got that empty netter, then they kept firing the puck. They said, "You're not coming back in our zone." Right, and that's the difference there. So I'm okay with that.
And I don't know if anybody mentioned this or noticed this. I think the Blues really played well around Ovechkin. There was always somebody around him
Yep.
and watching him. And that's a mistake. I've watched him play against other teams, and he gets over in that face and that circle, and there's nobody near him. And he's got that one timer, and I'm just sitting there going, you didn't know that Ovechkin was on the ice? You don't know that that's where he's going to go to? But I thought the Blues did a very good job on him tonight.
Yeah, no, in fact,
I think he only had one shot.
I think it was one or
shot the
two
whole
shots.
night.
Yeah.
Right, and I think he only had three or four attempts. Right. The other thing that I saw tonight was O'Reilly. Right, that when they were on the power play, O'Reilly was shadowing Ovechkin, not on him, but in his path. Right. They never had a clear path to Ovi. They never had that clear path to get him the puck for that one-timer. Never had it. It was never there, and it wasn't there. And I even said, remember me saying this in the opening, Ash? How do you beat the Pittsburgh or the Capitals power play? Sticks and lanes, and that's what they did tonight. I saw that. Right, Lance, am I wrong there?
No, I thought they did a great job at it. They kept their sticks moving during the power play. They stayed with their man. They stayed where they're supposed to on the ice. And when a player came over on their end, the guys switched players, and they knew their assignments and what they were supposed to do, and they knew where they were on the ice. And when you do that, you're normally going to have a pretty good penalty kill and power play.
Yep. Well, hey, I got to say a big thank you to Bob King, Tammy Pemberton, Patrick Michael Bastler, and Patrick Michael's the new guy from the lounge that we started that I got told about. Sam Manzella, Marianne Holmes, Tim Kyber, Earl Smith, Matt Park, and Brad Pond. Thank you so much for putting your love in your air on Facebook. We really appreciate it. You know, we're here for you, and we want your comments. We want to know what you say and what you see and how you like it. And Patrick, you're more than welcome. See, I told you, Patrick, this is a good show. We do good things. We do good news here.
For everybody that's expecting me to get all angry and huffy and puffy, I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do that tonight. So I was going to get on the show a couple days ago when Guy was just going crazy, and I thought, no, I'll let him have his crazy moments, and I won't jump in and be crazy too, because I didn't want to overwhelm Ashley and have her start shaking on screen. So
you see, I probably would have appreciated an assist that day.
No, so you missed yesterday's show, Lance. I broke that play down frame by frame.
Yeah.
It showed how that was not incidental contact.
No, it wasn't. And
because
I know you guys probably talked about it at nauseam, but
absolutely.
This league, one thing they need to do, let's start with one thing. And I think everybody in the NHL, everybody from the front office to the guy selling the popcorn to the guy selling the beer, figure out what is and what isn't goalie interference. If you start from there, you're on the right track. But they can't seem to do it. You guys remember several years ago against Boston when they knocked Jake Allen out of the net. 3 Boston players did. And they scored a goal, and they reviewed it and said it wasn't goalie interference. It's
because he didn't try and get back to the net.
Yeah, he was trying to get back to the net, and they blocked him. They first of all, they knocked him out of the net.
They knocked him down, and then he didn't try and get back to the net, so that's why they said it wasn't goalie interference. The fact that they pushed him out of the net was the goalie interference.
Yeah, he was in the crease. He was in the crease when they did it.
Right? No, and we're not completely talking about it. We're just kind of looking at it. And you're right. You know, that's what it is. No, I was upset. I was extremely upset. And it just what happened for me and what I saw. But here's what's important. I saw the same team on ice tonight that I saw in Pittsburgh. And while a lot of people sit there and say that they didn't play well in Pittsburgh, they had the game taken away from them. This is the same team. When you let them play, they can play.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought the Blues played very similar in a very similar fashion that they did against the Penguins. I didn't see anything really different. They had a very similar game plan. They wanted to attack and they wanted to get up early, and that's what they did. And it just kind of fell apart through some bad calls and through some other things in the third period, and it just was downhill from that point.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Lambert, Stephen Glass, thank you so much for your love and your respect. We appreciate it a lot. If the NFL can figure out pass interference, then the NHL can figure out goalie interference. Yeah, if a goalie is playing the puck like the Crosby goal, then they have the right, and it should be interference. And that's my whole thing with that, Lance. And this is the last I'm going to say about it. I'm going to ask you if you think I'm right or wrong. When Crosby hits the glove, his head, and you can see it if you slow it frame by frame, and I showed you, drops down, and he's looking down at the ice. Yep. He knows he hit the glove, and he knows the puck's in the glove.
He did it on purpose. Yeah. I've watched it several times, and a guy of his caliber, and even a guy that not of his caliber that's played in the league or played any amount of hockey, if they know what they can and can't get away with, and he knows he's Sidney Crosby, and he's probably going to get away with it, so he's going to try it. And you know what? If they say it's no go, who cares? But you got to try it.
Yeah, the goalie interference rule is number 69. Yeah, that absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Calling the ice. He doesn't think it was because the calling the ice was good goal. If the calling the ice were interference, that call would stand. But here's the problem with goaltender interference is it happens so fast that they can't always see it. They don't always see the whole play.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if that's the case, they want to get it right. And I understand that, but you got to look at I don't think it should be that you have to reverse the call on the ice. I think it should be, what is the call that should be made?
Mm-hmm.
Not the reverse of the ice. What calls should be made? And Marianne, you're right. I think it is wishy-washy, right? If they call Mikola's interference, then Crosby should have. I agree with that.
Well, it's really hard for a ref if he's not in the right position. And even if he's one of the linesmen at the side of the net, when a goal goes in and it's questionable goalie interference, a lot of times you got 3-4 guys in front of that net, and you may get one linesman that gets a good view, and then sometimes you don't get anybody that gets a good view. So, I don't know. They say there's got to be enough evidence to overturn it. In my mind, I don't care what angle you see that at, from the top, from the side. Like you said, as he's doing it, his head goes down. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah. Right. Well, here's the one thing that I had the issue with was that it was never. I've asked him and he hasn't responded to me. I have asked Tim Peel. I've asked him and he hasn't responded to me. So, I told him I really want to know what he thinks, but he hasn't responded to me. Maybe we'll get him again. A lot of times when you see those plays, and this is what I like about it, is they go frame by frame, and they show you that frame by frame, especially with the goal. With today, they did it frame by frame on the goal. Barbashev's goal, right at the end, frame by frame.
Yeah.
So why didn't they show us frame by frame of the Crosby one? Mm-hmm. Had you seen it frame by frame, it changes how you look at the play. And that's what I thought we should have been able to see, is the frame by frame. Mm-hmm. Chris Lambert said, I didn't hear anything about it. We must have stopped him in his tracks. Love it. We did. They did a great job. They opened the playbook. Ovi's going to have a hard time scoring goals this season, right? If you're a good team, you put bodies on him. You get sticks in his lanes. You take him out of the game. And then I'm telling you, I don't know what it is about the second period this season, because it sure wasn't there last season. This is a damn good second period team. Mm-hmm. Right? This team took 6 shots. 6. Count them, 6 shots in the second, and scored 3 goals. That's a 50% shooting. I'll take that every day of the week. If you want to shoot this 6 shots in a period and score 3 times on those 6 shots, do it every single period.
Absolutely.
right? Well, you're kind of right there, Patrick, and it does have, unfortunately, it has something to do with it, and it shouldn't, right? But we'll kind of go. Chris Lambert says cycle was the key, upkeeping defense and not letting off the gas. Jose says, I referee, and I can tell you it's too difficult a call to overturn, and Crosby is such an incredible player that he gets himself into positions where it's hard to really overturn it. And, okay, fair point. Fair point. Right? I don't know if Brown had a tough game or not.
No, I wouldn't say, and it's to my opinion, he just looks like a young player that's still learning the game, and he's going to have those spots where we look at him like we have, so far since he's played. Man, he's had some great moves and great hands and great vision, and then there's going to be times where he's just going to kind of fumble around, and there was a few times tonight I kind of saw him fumble around a little bit, but overall, I still think that he's been playing great. I think he's a lot more than what the Blues expected they were getting. I think they thought he was better than the way that they were treating him there, but I don't think the Blues thought he was this good when he was given an opportunity.
I mean, to be quite honest, I think that he's better than Sanford, even with his little fumbles that he's going to have.
Ashley, that doesn't take too much to say that, but I do agree with you.
Right? I agree. He's good. He's still a young guy. He's what? He's 22?
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
22.
He's still a young guy. And while he's not of the talent of Brady and
Matthew.
I'm trying to remember the guys that he was drafted with. Brady Tkachuk, the kid in Keller, Brown, and then the one that's in Nashville.
Oh, I can't.
And then one in Montreal. I think were the 5 St. Louisans that were drafted. But he's playing so well here. I mean, the Blues started next year was his year. He got the break this year, and they can't send him down.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're right, Tim. He is learning. And there's guys, you are seeing something amazing here. And you're seeing something, I always talk about listening to a game, right? And even, I think I've turned Lance onto this. I know Lance did it a little bit before he met me, but I remember, Lance, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think the conversation you and me had when we first met, when we ate, 6 baskets of fries at Red Robin?
Red Robin.
Right? I talked to you about how I listen to a game.
Mm-hmm.
And how I want to hear what a player is doing more than see what he's doing, because the guys that are calling that game, they know what to look for. So that helps me look differently at the game. And you kind of told me, yeah, I agree with you if I'm right.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you can watch a game and it's like sometimes, and I don't want to keep beating on Sanford because he's a great guy. He's doing well where he's at, and nothing against the guy, but there's just, when you hear a guy's name constantly, when you're listening and you're hearing the announcers mention his name and saying good things about him, you can tell a lot from that how the game's going for him, because a lot of times those guys paint a picture that sometimes the action's so fast that some people can't see it. On live TV. It's good to do both, but sometimes you just got to kind of listen and hear what's going on.
I watch a game 10 foot ahead of the puck and 20 foot around the puck. I already have to hear what's being said. I'm not sure what you mean by that there, Tammy. Does that mean you only listen to the game? That you can't watch it? You don't watch it or can't watch it? That might be what that is.
Yeah.
But like I said, I watch the game. When I'm at a game, I'm looking 10 foot in front of the puck and 20 foot around the puck. I want to see the play. I want to see the play develop. Right? And that's what's important to me. Can't wait till the 27th, row 101, section 101, row 8. Those are good seats. Good seats, Sam. Enjoy it, man. Good seats. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So-
going to the Kraken game. I think I told you guys that next week.
No, I wish I was, man. I wish I was.
I'm so jealous. I wish I was too. But I'm going to the Blackhawks with
Yep. At the end of the month.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's gonna be a really big game. I think it's like right before the Warrior Classic, the Warrior tournament.
I think that's on the 30th, isn't it, Ashley?
It's the
Yeah.
20. Yeah, actually might be doing it, but I think that they're going to honor the Warriors during that game too.
Yeah.
Right. Go ahead, Marianne. We love your questions. Go ahead. We'll wait on Marianne's question. Let's see what she's got to say. Tonight was a game that I've been hoping for. And I'm so happy. Tommy says I'll be in Nashville for the March 12th game. Excited to see. Tommy, we may have to give you some advice for that one.
Yeah.
If you've never seen a game in Nashville, we may have to give you some advice.
Yeah.
That's not a fun place to be a thing. Schwartz won't be playing when we play Seattle. No, he won't. He is injured. He'll be out till the end. He might be for that third game that they play, which is kind of sad. But Schwartz, to me, I don't. Schwartz is Schwartz now. I mean, the way he left, he did not leave. And to me, I understand, when your time is up, I get that. But the way he left, he screwed the Blues. Right? He screwed the Blues. What he should have done is sign that damn contract before the draft so the Blues wouldn't have had to lose Dunn.
Yep.
Right? Now, that might have been a blessing in disguise, and I admit that. However, I don't know. I'll sacrifice myself there for a win there. What happens if something like that happened in the playoffs and the cups, the whole mess? It happens all the time, Marianne, and the league just shrugs it off. The hand pass.
I think, we all
actually,
remember the hand
The hand pass did cause rules to change the next
rule
season.
to change.
Yeah.
Disagree that Schwartz screwed us. Well, we shouldn't have had to give up a player. Right? We should not have had to give up a player in that draft. Could we have traded Dunn somewhere else for something else? Yeah, we could have. Right? But what it did do, I'll tell you what. See, when everybody, I love how people look at the narrative of, oh my God, they put Tarasenko on. They put Tarasenko, they unprotected Tarasenko for the expansion draft. They had protected him because they knew he wasn't getting picked. That was what they ended up doing was protecting Barbashev. Think about this. Barbashev done. Who do you take? You take Barbashev.
Kraken already had their eyes on Dunn. They wanted a young defenseman that was cheap. And,
but they had also I got told this, that they'd also put out feelers on Barbashev, that they had guys out there watching Barbashev, and that they thought if the Blues were going to leave him unprotected, that they were going to flip a coin between the two, and I think that they would end up taking Barbashev if we leave him unprotected. Right? But I do also think this, unless you really, really had a hockey mind, because I got told by a couple of alumni and guys that played hockey their whole lives that Barbashev wasn't ready to be what Barbashev is. Right? It would have taken someone taking a leap of faith on Barbashev, and I think Seattle would have done it. Right?
I still think they would have went with Dunn.
Yeah, because they wanted a young defenseman that was cheap, and Schwartz. I don't think Schwartz did that on purpose. I just think he did it and to go where he wanted to go and have a fresh start on an expansion team, hoping they might have some magic like the Golden Knights did, which I think we all knew that wasn't going to happen. But it did end up kind of screwing the Blues a little bit. But I will tell you honestly, the Blues had no plans of having Dunn come back. He was not coming back. They would have traded him somewhere else.
Well, yeah, and I'm pretty sure of that, but that was taken out of our hands.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe I'm looking at it very heavy, and that's just me, and I get that, right? But overall, what we're seeing right now is we're seeing a team that believes in itself. I saw that tonight. I absolutely saw that tonight. I don't know if he's injured or not. I know he was injured for a short period of time, and I think he was on the COVID protocol once, but I haven't really been paying attention. I might have to go look at that. I might have to look at it. No, we are not going to do a show tomorrow.
Okay.
Unless something happens, we're not going to do a show tomorrow because we have to do the early one on Sunday.
Okay.
Right? So I plan on not doing that. Petro bought a house in St. Louis. Think there might be a reunion later. Absolutely not. There was so much made out of that, and that was, you know what that was? That was happy wife, happy life. That's exactly what that was.
He's buying the house for the off season, is why he bought it. I mean, and he didn't want to hang on to his other house, because he sold his other house here in St. Louis when he left.
Yeah, to Krug.
Yeah, to Krug, and he didn't want to hang on to that. They had always planned on buying another house here because he likes it here.
Yeah, and when he retires, I'm pretty sure, because his wife's from here, that he will be part of the alumni here.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Jose says, do you think after the first period, Berube talked to the team, or did our captain talk to the team?
Oh, it was Berube.
I think they both did.
No, I think it was Berube. I don't think O'Reilly had much to say.
It's hard to say, but I'm sure they both did. I wasn't that upset with the first. Right?
I was only upset with the first 8 minutes of the first, and then they turned it around.
That's what I said. They were bad for the first 8 to 12 minutes, and then they started picking up after that. But yeah, they were pretty fortunate there at the first when they missed those open nets several times.
Both teams missed open nets.
Yep.
Right? Both teams had really prime scoring chances.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that the Caps controlled a good part of the Blues offensive zone, but overall they didn't control the neutral zone, and that was something that I saw that went from the first into the second, because in the second the Blues controlled the neutral zone.
Yeah.
Right. And so many people don't understand, and I don't mean this to be facetious or mean or anything like that. The neutral zone is so freaking important. Right. 80, and I've asked so many people this. I believe that 80% of your goals are scored through the neutral zone. Right? Gary told me, I agree with you.
Yeah,
right? And Gary played in a
lot of
different
scoring
time.
opportunities start right in that second half of the neutral zone from the red line into the offensive end, and that's where those plays get made, in the beginnings of those plays. And it's very important to have good neutral zone play. If you're terrible in the neutral zone a lot, you're not going to be a successful team.
Well, look what the Caps did tonight. The Caps had 7 or 8 stretch passes through the neutral zone. The only good thing is this time the Blues had a body on that person.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They had someone right there that was not getting it down. I don't know if you can see this, Lance. I put it up, she takes it down. Sam says someone write it down. Guy and Lance agree on something.
Well, I think Guy and I agree on a lot of things. It's just the stuff we don't agree on. We're very I'm not going to say heated about it. We're very vocal about it.
Yeah. No, and that's what we are. That's what the show's about. That's what this is. This is a chance, like I said, and this is something that, guys that are my age, and I met Lance, I think, knows what I'm talking about. When I was a kid, I used to love to lay in bed, because I for some reason, I was one of those kids that didn't go to bed at 10 o'clock. Or I used to watch MASH, on Channel 2.
Yep.
But I loved listening to the KMOX on the radio, Sports Open Line.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a true hour, 2 hours where you got to voice your opinion. And it was talk both ways, positively and negatively.
Yeah, I used to call into Sports Open Line all the time as a teenager and as a guy in his 20s and 30s, and kind of got away from it, as I got older. But yeah, it's, they had a lot of great guests on there, and a lot of people would call in with some great questions, some of them stupid, but there were a lot of good questions on that show.
Yeah, I remember up in Chicago, I got on a Sports Open Line, and this was when the Cardinals were sucking. But I talked to one of the Cardinal announcers, and I forget who it was, and I asked him about, middle relief. Do we need some better middle relief? And he says, no, middle relief is just your done. Well, you know what? There were many times that season where the Cardinals would be down by 1 or 2 runs bring in the middle relief. The next thing you know, you're down by
Yep.
6.
Yep.
Right? Tommy, this is your call line, guys. This is your call line. Absolutely. That's what this is right here. This is your call line. This chat room, this show, this is your call line. And I said, did I say Tammy or did I say Tommy?
No, you said Tommy.
You said
Okay.
Tommy.
Because we have the Tammy too, and I can't see them both very well. I mean, the O's and the A's look almost the same to me.
Yeah.
But this is what this show is. This is your open line, right? And that's exactly the way we'll get it. This is why, I mean, it's not vocal that you get to talk, but you have your chat, and we try and cover everybody. Boy, what a fun hour.
Mm-hmm.
Do we start Hooser or do we start Benny next game? Benny.
Yeah, Bennington.
No ands, ifs, or buts.
Yeah.
Funny thing, when the announcer said that one of our players twisted Kuznevich, she thought they said twisted his. I don't even know where you're going with that.
I think I know what they're talking about.
I know what he's saying.
Uh-huh.
Well, hey guys, what a fun show, man. Lance, you know how much we love you, man, right?
Well, thank you. I love you guys too.
Well, Tim, I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I was waiting for it. I wasn't going to stop the show until you started with your goalie controversy. Oh no, you got to stay with Huso.
Hey,
Bennington's
guys,
Allen now. I don't like Bennington.
At least it's more legitimate than people saying we need to send Huso back down and bring up Lindgren and have Lindgren start.
No. Yeah. Well, I actually think that Huso auditioned for a job tonight.
I if they trade Huso, it's going to be more towards the trade deadline. I could see that happening, but I really don't know if they're going to have the faith in Lindgren to bring him up for the playoffs, because I don't want Lindgren in net in the playoffs. I just don't, because it's a different type of pressure. It's a different type of season.
Yeah.
And he just hasn't played enough for me to get behind him. I told people this with Bennington. After 20 games, they were calling him the best Blues goalie in the history of the Blues. And I'm like, guys, he's only played 20 games. Let's see what he does after a couple seasons. Because how many times have we seen guys come in and play 10 hot games or 2 good years and then they fall apart?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Tammy. I appreciate your comment, and now I'm going to ask you to do this for me. You tell 2 people, they tell 2 people, and they tell 2 people, and they tell 2 people. That's what's going to happen, guys. Right?
Wait a second. Are you doing a multi-level marketing thing here now?
Apparently, that's what we doing. That's what we doing up here.
What? I missed what you said, Lance.
I said, are you doing a multi-level marketing thing here, guy?
In a way. Right? In a way, but instead of multi-level marketing, it's multi-level listening.
There you go.
Right? Multi-level listening. You guys get the show out. Guys, help us out. Lance, how is your podcast, by the way?
Well, it's been on the off for a little bit because of health reasons, but as soon as I can get back to doing it, I'll do it. And if you guys want to see some of my past episodes, you can go to droppodcast.com. You can email me at lanced@droppodcast.com, and you can find us on Twitter at Drop Hockey Show. And I know that I'm getting emails from people that really listen a lot to my show, and I do apologize for not getting back to that, but it's a lot easier on me to take this time with Guy and Ashley and not have to carry the show by myself and everything. And it's really nice to be on here.
Jose, that's the funniest thing you've ever said on this show.
I really enjoyed that one a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see that, Lance?
Yes, I see it. Thank you, Jose.
You know what, Lance? I tell you what I'd like, if when you're up to it, let's do one of your shows, but let's do it like when we record it off like this, like the
Yep.
I know you can record it, and you and me do it, and you can record it that way.
Yep.
And I think it will give, for me, it'll be, because I know you had some problems with my voice last time.
Yep.
This might help that out, and I'd love to get on a show with you where we can debate things, man.
Yeah,
he's been talking about kicking me out for a show with just you for a while now.
No, I'm talking about for his podcast, not mine.
I know.
Right, not mine.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll have to do that, and I've got a few ideas up my sleeve too to make the show a little more interesting. My show, at least.
Yeah.
But that sounds really great.
I thank you, Tim. I really do. Tim's a convert. I give it to Tim, and he'll tell you he hated me for a while, but he's come over to it.
Oh, I can't picture him hating you. Tim seems like such a sweet guy.
Oh no, he'll tell you. He was my biggest critic.
I
Lance,
remember
you remember that?
I remember
right?
it. Yeah.
He was my biggest critic. There was nothing I could say that he was ever going to agree with. Right? Your show is stupid. I don't know why anyone would watch it. You're an idiot. You don't know hockey. I mean, those are the things he would say about me in groups and that. And look, I get where he was coming from. I don't have any hard feelings for it because I was bringing up emotion in him.
Mm-hmm.
But he realized that's exactly what was happening. He had emotion coming up and he came back, and I love him for it.
He's saying never know.
You're saying that now. I would not consider a Husso trade at this time. I absolutely would. I'm sorry, I would. You got to strike while the iron's hot.
I wouldn't.
Right? Have a great night, everyone. See you Sunday. Yep. Sunday is 2:00 your time or 3:00 your time?
1:00, I thought.
No, it's a 2:00 game, so we'll be on at 1:30.
We'll be on at 1:30. Oh, the 17th. We will be on at 6 p.m. your guys' time. 1 hour. We're going to be on during the entire retirement ceremony for 44. Right? They're going to show it on Bally Sports, so I'll be able to watch it and we'll be able to talk about it as it's going on. Obviously, I can't show it. I might show some of the speeches or play some of the speeches audio. Audio, I have a little bit more freedom to use, and they can't screw me. So that's where I'm at.
I'm sorry, that was which game?
The 17th.
Okay.
Right? Jose, love the show. You guys are fun and quirky, and that's what we appreciate. You'll be at the game on the 15th. That's mean we won't have Tim here on the show. Or actually, Tim might be at the game telling everybody, showing us on. Look, people start watching this. Right? I'm telling you. You want to learn about the game? Watch this. Look, this is some of the things he says that he's dead on. I can see Tim doing that. Right? But hey, guys, this has been a fun show. Thank you so much. Lance, you don't know what it means to me every time you come on, man. And your friendship is so important to me. And I know Ashley, too. So thank you so much, my friend.
No, thank you guys for having me. It's always fun. It's always a pleasure. And we can disagree, and it's still fun. We still respect each other.
Yep, absolutely. Slapshot, great show tonight. Great show today.
Friend.
I think we did really good. And I think these guys are going to help get our numbers up, and this show's going to break out because of you and what you do for us. So I greatly appreciate it, Slapshot.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, this is Guy the Y Blues fan for Ashley Slapshot Jones. Bring a poster with the show on it. I wish, man. I'd love it. I'd love it, man. I'd love it. Have a great night. This is Guy the Y Blues fan and Ashley Slapshot Jones with Lance, the Drop Hockey Podcast to Scott, saying aloha mahalo. Can't wait to see you on the next Blue Note Fan Report.